Hey pals, it's Kassie, and welcome back to another reaction video of Naruto Shippuden. As always, I'd like to thank all of my subscribers and anyone watching this video. Thank you so much for watching and continuing to follow me on this crazy shinobi journey. I would also like to give a very special thank you to my patrons. Now, previously on Naruto, there's been a lot going on between like the main focus of the war with like Obito and Madara and Naruto and like the rest of the shinobi forces, and then also like Sasuke trying to get like real answers from the history of the Leaf Village. So we've been focusing a lot on that, on how basically the Leaf came to be and how like Madara and oh my gosh, Hashirama first met, how they formed the village together, and how it kind of devolved and what kind of led to the Uchiha clan wanting to stage a coup because they're being treated unfairly. But everybody thinks that they're like evil because if they are like lose love or something along those lines, they like get like super emotional and like use their powers to like take it out on others is kind of the gist that I got. They explained it differently, but it's been like 2 weeks since I watched that last episode, so I don't really remember. But essentially we're learning about the history of the Leaf, which has been super awesome for me because I'm like, yes, lore. I love history. But also I'm just very curious what exactly Sasuke wants to do with this information. So I mean, I know that he wants to find the truth. I know that he wants answers so that he can make a more informative decision, which I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Little late, but good for you. But also, so much loss on the other side. I was actually just editing those videos and I was just like crying the whole time. It's fine. So yeah, let's just get into it so we can find out what's going on next. Are we okay? So this clearly has to be where the statues were, right?
I just want to protect the dream. Then I realized we have fought enough.
You look pretty depressed right now, Hashirama. Cannot just perk back up this time, eh?
No. It's always hard.
It's impossible.
Essentially, they're like best friends. I know I say that a lot, but stay with me. They're best friends. They've been best friends for a long time, even though there was conflict always between them. They came together only to be broken apart again. That must be really hard, you know? Not that I speak from personal experience, but watching your best friend go down a path when you've tried everything in your power to help them, and sometimes they don't see it, sometimes they don't want it until potentially it's too late. There's lots of things.
You have got your priorities backwards. It will someday lead the village to darkness.
But he didn't actually kill him because he was like alive, but just, you know, a ghost of a person, right? Or a shell of a person, I should say.
Still, I am the shinobi who created these circumstances. What's more, I considered them acceptable. And I believe that shinobi are those who endure for a purpose. But depending on what that purpose is, a shinobi can change, as both Madara and I did.
Yeah, two sides of the same coin. That's very insightful.
And since that is in fact the case, we must take measures to avoid any mayhem. That includes innocent children, too.
Don't say such things in front of Itachi. Besides which, a battle against the Uchiha will be far from an easy task. We must plan our strategy very carefully.
We are in a race against time here. We ought to strike them.
All of it is sad, is the summary of this. It's one person's ideals over what is good and right and fair to others, or versus others. And I'm not saying the Leaf is right just because they're the setting of our main protagonist. I think this is very wrong. But the wrongness started way before Danzo was ever part of the picture. And what? Because Madara just had a gloomy look.
That you'll take care of Sasuke. I will. Do not fear it. This is the path you have chosen. Compared to yours, our pain will be over in an instant. Our philosophies may differ,
Was it wrong?
but I'm still proud of you.
And every time we visit this again, the more sad I am that Itachi had to suffer this much. That anybody has to suffer this much, but if you think about how long that, like, Sasuke was just upset about the whole thing, that whole time, he was just sad.
My brother endured longer and harder than you. When he died, he still said that he was proud to be a Leaf Shinobi. Ironic, the one who understood you the most was a shinobi from the Uchiha clan.
Yeah, it is kind of ironic.
One of my subordinates was Kagami Uchiha, a man a lot like your brother.
Second Hokage, I thought that you hated the Uchiha.
That's not the whole truth.
Well, you certainly act like it.
But perhaps I was the most naive shinobi of them all. I couldn't
Well-
maintain Lord Second's village building skillfully enough.
Yeah.
Which is how I ended up burdening Danzo with the village's darkness.
And I killed Danzo out of revenge.
Yeah. The third Hokage, we have some issues.
Now then, Sasuke, what next?
Yeah, what's the
Will you
decision?
crush the village? Or...
We're not gonna find out. We're gonna go back to the other battlefield. No? Okay. Surprising.
It's just as you said, brother. I fostered my hatred for you all this time. I've lived my life for one single purpose. To see you die! It ends here!
This whole episode is gonna be flashback, isn't it?
I have always lied to you and asked for your forgiveness while keeping you at a distance. Because I wanted to keep you out of this. But now, I think that perhaps you...
It's just so tragic. Their entire story is so tragic.
And whatever you do from here on out, know this. No matter what, I will love you always.
Waterfalls.
I'm going to head to the battlefield. I won't let the village and Itachi become nothing.
Surprise, surprise.
It's decided. Tobirama, prepare to fly us outside.
I'd love to use Flying Raijin, but I'm bound right now.
Orochimaru, was it? What will you do now?
I believe you said earlier you'd stay with Sasuke, didn't you?
Of course. We shall accompany him.
Oh, sweet Getsu.
4 mighty zombies and 3 monsters? If I tag along, I'm gonna die for sure. I'm making a break for it when I get the chance.
I'm not saying that he's invincible, but he
this
is
view
made of
sure
water.
brings back memories.
So... I'm surprised he's
Now
so
or
concerned.
never.
Got him.
Cutting.
Oh my.
So many of my best experiments all gathered here in one place.
Yeah, she probably fought her way out.
I'll never forgive you!
I'm sorry, Karin.
Don't forgive him. Don't forgive him. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve it. I'm glad that he apologized. I'm glad that he could see that. But, no. Still doesn't deserve it.
Sasuke had the gall to stab me! You believe that?
Me too, dear. Quite a coincidence. But now
Yeah,
I'm
actually, you're
cooperating with
wrong.
Sasuke. This is perfect. You can come help us too.
What? Well, I guess I have no choice.
I'll finally meet my son, Naruto. I'll make up for not being there for you as your father by bringing you a huge present now.
Now then, it's been a while since my last war. I must focus.
It's hard to be excited.
It's foolish, I know, but I'm kind of looking forward to seeing a familiar old friend. Just you wait, Madara.
Of
There's
course.
always conflict,
Zombie
no matter
best
what the
friends.
era, but this shall be
Reunite.
the end of wars. Let's go!
Are they each on top of their statues? That's so awesome. Of course they are. Oh, good times. Okay, so naturally most of this episode was flashback, so blah. I do still say that the whole story of Sasuke and Itachi is just very tragic. I still believe Karin shouldn't forgive him so easily because he was a jerk. He did stab her, he did try to kill her, so you don't just forgive somebody, but I guess that's love. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever loved somebody hard enough that if they stabbed me and tried to kill me that I would just forgive them in a matter of 5 seconds, but whatever. I am curious because not that it doesn't seem like the right train of thought, but it does seem, I guess, like I feel like it couldn't have gone any other way. I mean, I don't know about Sasuke, but at the very least it would have to lead to the other Hokage going to the battlefield, or the previous Hokage going to the battlefield. Like that just makes sense to me because the only other person that's not only other, but the only person that's ever been able to defeat Madara was Hashirama. So that makes sense to me. I guess I understand Sasuke's reasoning to want to do it because after all that he's been through under like Orochimaru's tutelage, I guess if you could say that, and you know, seeking revenge, which turned out to be not what he thought it was, and kind of semi-joining the Akatsuki and seeing that, you know, line of thought, finally potentially maybe understanding where his brother came from because he never truly understood his brother, which is what I think they're getting at, is a very interesting choice because throughout all of it, the only person that's ever been that important to him has been his brother. Whether they were children, he looked up to him. The fact that he hated him and that just like that thought consumed him. And even after he killed him, everything that actually happened consumed him with the choices that his brother made, how much he suffered. Like the only person that's ever been on his mind, the most important thing ever has been his brother. So for him to gain the perspective of not just the leaf, the I guess the beginning of the leaf, how it all came together, the history with Madara and Hashirama, and understanding what the will of fire is, understanding what the village is everything that his brother embodied. And because his brother is just the most important person to him, for him to make the decision to act on behalf of what his brother wanted and what his brother sacrificed everything for, I think is I don't disagree with it. I guess I just am like, I don't know. I guess I just explained it to myself because at first when I think about it on the surface level, I'm like, I don't really understand, but I do. It's because his brother is the most important person to him, so he wants to enact what his brother wanted all along. Even if he was angry, even if he didn't understand, he took the necessary steps to understand what his brother wanted, where the perspective his brother was coming from. And he made a decision based on that to honor him. At least it feels that way to me. I could be wrong, but it feels that way to me. So I'm curious because obviously the rivalry is there. They're going to face each other eventually. So I'm curious about that. But I'm curious if we're going to do like Sasuke versus Naruto before the end of this war, or is the war gonna end and it's like, okay, now that that's over, actually we have unfinished business, which is to fight each other, because that's the only way best friends in shonen can communicate. I don't know, but I am curious. So for now, thank you all so much for watching and continuing to follow me on this crazy shinobi journey, and until next time, bye.